hours after an oncologist was stabbed in a super-speciality hospital in Chennai. Another doctor was attacked by its patients. The victim was identified as Dr. Hariharan, who is an assistant professor in psychology department of government-run Stanley Medical College. The accused, identified as Bharat, was being treated at the hospital for the past month. Well, this of course is very, very shocking. Clearly, of course, in fact, there are big questions now as to how did a man armed with a knife manage to enter a secured hospital. This attack, of course, coming amidst a nationwide outcry over the safety of medical professionals has prompted doctors at the hospital to suspend non-emergency treatments in protest. The incident follows the recent rape and murder of a doctor in Kolkata, sparking strikes across India. Nadu CM MK Stalin has condemned the violence, pledging to protect doctors who selflessly serve the community. But as protests spread, is it finally time for a comprehensive action plan to prevent such violence? How do we ensure the safety of those who save our lives? Well, joining us now live on the broadcast is Dr. R.V. Ashokan. He is President, IMA, Indian Medical Association. Welcome. Thank you very much for being with us today, Dr. Ashokan. Two more incidents of doctors being attacked have emerged from Chennai. How upset is the IMA with this development?
We are very deeply sad. Yes, the right word is frustration. But the disappointment is not unexpected. Governments and bureaucracy are part of the problem. So they are not one acknowledging it. Whenever they face a situation, they try to be superficial, try to get around it, and want to avert a situation. Do not address the issues in its real sense. They are not serious. Neither the governments nor the bureaucracy of this country is serious about the violence in our hospitals.
The Supreme Court has formed an NTF for doctor safety. Why are we not being able to increase security for doctors is the big question, Dr. Ashokan.
Well, the only hope, let me record here, is the Honorable Supreme Court, which intervened the suo motu in the Artikar case and formed a national task force. But the national task force let us down. They were elitist doctors, far removed from the ground, perhaps have never seen violence in their life, do not realize what it means to an ordinary doctor, have never been in the organizations which deal with violence. So naturally, the product that came out of that national task force is a great letdown for the medical fraternity and is disappointing. Now, Supreme Court, with all its good intentions, is not an executive body. The governments have to execute it. Now, the governments, I said earlier, have a reluctance to acknowledge any violence. They simply want to close their eyes on violence, perhaps do a job which they think will be like something like a eyewash. So IMA naturally is frustrated, as you rightly said, and we are being used as a soft target for the failure of all the governments since independence in not being able to provide a proper healthcare in this country. But if they are expecting doctors to keep quiet, I think a line has been crossed with what has happened in Chennai. We need to, the profession is undergoing an introspection. The profession has been very silent, and we have been expecting the nation to correct itself. Right from the day that the patient was called as a customer, regulations and the public etiquette of ministers and MLAs against doctors in government hospitals, they are part of the inciting the violence against doctors. So naturally, if they are part of the problem, how will the solution come from them?
Absolutely. What are the immediate demands then that the IMA has after this matter has come to light? Dr. Ashokan?
See, our only demand, see, it's a complex ground. It's not that the medical profession does not understand the complexity of the issue, which is starting from the low investment. It's a very complex issue of the inadequacies in public sector and the out-of-pocket expenditure in the private sector and the workload on the doctors and the resulting gap between the expectations and the reality. But there has to be a political will to call a spade and then be honest with the doctors of this country. That has to start with the central law. Now Tamil Nadu has got a state law of hospital protection, which the police officials didn't even know. The legal illiteracy of the police and the medical illiteracy of the bureaucrats and the lack of political will among the politicians, this compounds our problem. Our only demand now is a central act which has some teeth. Very unfortunately, the central act has been denied to us repeatedly, telling us if you doctors ask for an act, then the auditors will ask, then the engineers will ask. I don't think the central government deserves a reply on speaking like this to the medical fraternity of the country. But it's not surprising. It's not surprising because of the general indifference to the sacrifice or the hardships of the medical fraternity of the country, starting from the resident doctor to the HOD. The man who was yesterday stabbed is a very senior super specialist working in a top hospital of the state, which is in the government sector. I don't know if they cannot protect such a man. What right these governments have to exist? If they cannot protect a doctor who is a cream of the society providing service in the government sector, can't we say that it is anarchy? Can't we say that the law and order has collapsed? What is the security that an ordinary citizen is going to get from such governments? It's all, it's all indifference. It's all indifference, lack of acknowledgement of the difficulties of the profession. So our only demand even today is start honestly. You are not honest. The governments are not honest. The bureaucrats are not honest. The police is not honest. Start honestly. Start a dialogue with us. And start with the central law. Unless the central law comes, the doctors of this country are not going to recognize any of this government's initiatives.
All right. And now my final question to you, Dr. Ashokan, before we let you go. The doctors in Chennai are protesting. The doctors in Kolkata are protesting. Why isn't this the biggest national crisis right now?
Yes, it's a national crisis. But, you are testing a fraternity, which is vulnerable, which is, and also take into the consideration that 65% of the doctors are women doctors today. More and more women are taking to medical profession. So the security needs of the medical profession is also being upgraded. And it's a national crisis. It's truly a national crisis. One good change in the entire thing is that the sympathy that the nation is showing to the fraternity. And the media, if you look at the violence of 1990s, the media was not with the fraternity. But today, the genuine concern comes from the media, and there is lot of public awareness. What has not moved is the government, bureaucrats, police. That is why I am saying they are part of the problem. They are inciting violence by being silent.
All right, Dr. Kirti Varman, in fact, is also joining us now live. Dr. Shukran, I'll let you go. Thank you very much for being with us. Dr. Kirti Varman, quickly drawing you in here, General Secretary, TNRDA. Dr. Varman, what do you make of these shockers which are coming in from again and again from Tamil Nadu?
What happened in Kolkata is again happening in Tamil Nadu also. So all over India, in this year itself, in past this 1 year itself, there are numerous attacks on resident doctors as well as senior doctors. Now it has happened to a senior doctor. He is actually a 56-year-old associate professor and he's a chief of the Department of Medical Oncology in Guindy Multi-Speciality Hospital. Actually, he's actually chief consultant. So his value is much more than a resident doctor. His experience and how many patients are cured by him. He had made a treatment to numerous patients, and thousands of patients are cured by him. And he had treated that much of patient. Now he is struck by his own patient's attender. He made multiple attempts to kill him. So it's like trying to a brutal murder of a doctor in an institution, a government institution, in office hour, inside his room. So this is again getting more scary for young doctors like us. So what is the safety measures the government is going to do for doctors? So for a senior doctor itself, there is no safety for his life inside the institution, a government institution. Then what is the safety for a young doctors and junior doctors as well as CRA doctors or a PG doctor as a resident doctor? What are the safety measures they are going to do for us? So even from for past 2 months after the West Bengal issue, the Kolkata incident, we are asking for hospital safety. We are frequently asking for protection team, as well as we are asking for hospital protection management team, and this team should make meetings every month, and what are all the safety issues in the hospital should be corrected immediately. So this was we were asking for a past 2 months, but now after that these protests, the things are not even getting corrected in Tamil Nadu, and in a major hospital which was again it was actually made by a government of Tamil Nadu. For nearly it was done in Guindy. Just it is for super speciality and multi speciality, and it is a specialty hospital. So again, it is very sad thing for young doctors that this should not happen again in Tamil Nadu. And what measures government had taken, that is again astonishing for us. So we had taken a protest today morning. Today, from yesterday evening to today evening, we are doing a protest. Government has taken an action that the doctor's safety should be taken into the consideration. This was the request by it. But what they have done is just the safety measures should be taken, and just the order was passed by the DME just now, making that the security issues and these things must be done. This order was passed, but this is not the solution. What we are asking is not just passing an order, but it's that every districts and in every medical colleges there should be a team. They should make a team. That team should monitor in every individual district headquarters hospital, in every tertiary care center. There should be a team. So without mentioning a team and without mentioning that members, just passing an order is not going to give a solution.
Rajendran, President, Tamil Nadu State RDA and Regional Coordinator, FEMA, let me quickly bring you in here as well, because Dr. Rajendran, this is now becoming a very persistent problem, not just in one part of the country, but in all parts of the country, Dr. Rajendran. What steps need to be urgently be taken? And what do you make of these incidents?
Yes, at the outset, I just want to make it very clear that we from TNRDA strongly condemn what has happened to both doctors in Chennai. And there were two separate, one in the Guindy Hospital and one in Stanley Medical College. First and foremost, we all have to realize the fact that doctors are being portrayed as soft targets. And having realized that, it is up to the state government, the central government, the police officials, and the health secretary and health minister of each and every state to ensure that these caregivers and these lifesavers do not lose their lives in the battle for a patient's lives. Because Nowhere in our textbooks or in a Hippocratic oath is it mentioned that we have to, sacrifice our lives literally to save the lives of patients. But there's a limit to all this. And we all thought that after the RGP West Bengal incident, the awareness about violence against doctors would be triple and fourfold. But unfortunately, it has all fizzled out. We all protested for 3 months on the streets of every medical college, primarily asking for a Central Health Protection Act, but that has never materialized. Only if you have a Central Health Protection Act, only that will instill the fears in the minds of such perpetrators. And only if that fear has been instilled in the minds of the public, will they think twice or thrice before attacking us. Because when we are surrounded by 50 to 100 patients in a crowded OPD with so much mental and physical stress, and when we are concentrating so much on trying to cure the patient's illness, nowhere do we have the time to raise our arms in self-defense. Nowhere in a dictionary are we taught ever to have self-defensive tactics. We are at soft target. Any patient, any man or woman for that matter, can simply barge into our OPDs, flail a knife at us, and attack us and stab us, and we can do nothing because at that moment we are left defenseless. So the first and foremost way to go about this would be to instill fear in the minds of the public regarding violence against doctors. So first and foremost, we have to have a strong Central Health Protection Act, and then it is up to the state government to ensure that there are proper restrictions on the attenders visiting each patient every day. Those are basic steps, because only then can we curb unnecessary antisocial elements from entering the hospital. If say we have like one attender per patient for over 6 hours, that is fine. One attender is enough. We have to ensure that that attender undergoes a proper pat down, a proper scrutiny, and a proper security check-in. And those attenders have to be issued a security pass or a visitor's pass only after extreme security checkdowns and pat downs. Only then should they be allowed to let into the hospital premises. Because unless we do that, this issue is going to be snowballing into every other state, and every other patient attender is going to come under the impression that doctors are soft targets. So that has to be addressed. And thirdly, each and every government medical college has to have a dedicated security team. And the security arrangements of this security team has to undergo a security audit monthly, 3 monthly, 6 monthly, and even yearly to ensure that there are no security lapses. Fourthly, every hospital has to have proper CCTV footages and CCTV monitors. This has been lacking in TN medical colleges. Though the government has been promising to implement that, that is lacking. And the way that the attender of the patient walked carelessly into the corridor after stabbing the doctor 7 times literally sends shivers and chills down each and every one of our young doctors' spines. And like Dr. Keerthi Varman rightly pointed out, this has happened to a senior doctor in the midst of a bustling Chennai city hospital, and that doctor in question is the chief consultant, like Keerthi rightly pointed out. If this can happen to one such person like him, this can happen to any doctor in our state. And the other incident that happened was an incident where a patient, a psychiatric patient, punched a psychiatric consultant repeatedly in the face, which led to the consultant having multiple episodes of nasal bleeding, and he was actually sick. Now he's stable, and this has closely occurred following the Archikar incident. So the public, has completely lost the fear and have, they have decided that doctors are soft targets and that they will not strike back. So Central Health Protection Act, regular security audits, proper dedicated security teams, CCTV monitors, and strict scrutiny of the attenders and issuing security passes is the way to go. And the government on that part from Tamil Nadu has given us strong oral assurances that they will heed to our demands and that they will revamp security measures. Though these are oral assurances, we have decided to place our trust in the government in this instance, but we have also warned them that we will escalate our protests into full-time strikes if these written assurances are not translated into proper written legislations. So this is our stand.
Right. Let me, in fact, quickly now also draw in Dr. Amrinder Malhi, who is joining us live. He is faculty at AIIMS Delhi. Dr. Malhi, this is becoming a pan-India problem now. What urgent steps would you, want the government to take, and why is this not getting the kind of attention that it deserves?
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, very simple thing. What we need is Central Protection Act. When I was the resident doctor association president in 2019, along with Sukan sir, IMA, along with all associations from whole country, we sat together in a in a Union Health Ministry, and at that time we have formed the Central Protection Bill, and that bill clearly states that if anybody, any person who attacks a doctor, they have got minimum of 2 years imprisonment and maximum of 10 years, and a fine of minimum 2 lakhs to maximum of 10 lakhs. And for a grievous hurt, it has been written there that if there is mild, moderate, and severe, any hurt has happened to any doctor at that particular time in hospital, government or private, if that bill had been passed at that particular time, then this instance, with whatever happened in Ajikar or recently in Chennai, senior doctor has been stabbed 7 times. That should not have happened. So what has happened at that particular time, I will let you know. At that particular time, that bill has gone to Ministry of Home Affairs, and at that particular time, MHA rejected it, saying that if the doctors are demanding it right now, then the engineers, the other persons will come, the lawyers will come, they will come and they will have that very stuff. So at that particular time, we have told to them that we are the vulnerable people. We are very much vulnerable. Not the lawyers are vulnerable. Not the engineers are vulnerable. We are at the line of control at that particular time in the emergencies, in the ICUs, in every aspect where the patient can attack at any time. You just see this patient is having lymphoma stage 4, and there is a metastasis to the lungs, and that the son of the patient has attacked the senior doctor who is a medical oncologist, and you just see there is no deterrence in the in the faces of the patients. When there is little bit of deterrence, then only we can safeguard our doctors. So first, Central Protection Bill. Actually, the governments, either state government or central government, they are not looking after these very things. They should look after these things, and the central from the center, the health minister should call all the health secretaries or state health secretaries to the health ministry, and they should start the dialogue of the Central Protection Bill, and they should pass within next 6 months, or they can pass in the winter session. So this is the thing which we need, which all doctor, healthcare worker, doctor, nurse staff or any paramedical staff needed it very badly. So we should think of the Central Protection Act, and we should need it as early as possible. So I will give the answer. State will say they will pass an order. They will say that we will do good CCTV coverage. We will provide you bouncers. We will give you good security. We will provide quick response teams. They will ensure us, but that has not come into life. You see, whenever you go to the emergency ICUs, they are still lacking CCTVs. They are still lacking quick response teams. They are still lacking the bouncers or the security guards who can safeguard the doctors. So these things are lacking in each and every hospital, either center. You can go to any state. In the periphery, there is very much chaos there right now. So if we want to save our doctors, mark my words. Mark my words. You just mark my words. If we will not stop these things, the day will come. The doctors are going abroad. Either they are going to US, UK, Australia, to other countries. So if we have to save these things, we have to implement the Central Protection Bill, or which have to be act in the winter session very soon. So then only we can safeguard our doctors.
Okay. Dr. Varman, let me quickly draw you in here. Dr. Kirti Varman, on are there protests on in Tamil Nadu? How are you planning to take this movement forward?
Sir, not able to clearly understand what you are telling. So able to hear me?
Yes, Dr. Varman, please go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, sir. So what finally all are telling, I am also telling the same thing, that is Central Protection Act.
No. How are you planning to take your movement forward? Are there protests happening on ground there? How do you plan to take your movement forward?
Yes, sir. Today we have done a protest all over Tamil Nadu. All medical colleges, the protest has been done. In Madurai, nearly we have done with 500 members. With 500 doctors along this, we have done a mass protest and we have boycotted OPD and all elective services. So this will continue. If proper actions are not taken, this will continue, and continuous protests will be happening in all over Tamil Nadu, and the emergency services may get affected if this still continues. So this is the thing what I want to tell. And one thing I want to again stress thing is central protection as is the one thing which we want. But next, what are all the alternative things should be done immediately are the protection to the doctors inside the government hospital premises and inside the tertiary hospital center, that should be made immediately. And the proper teamwork, that team should be made. A hospital protection team should be made in every centers and tertiary center, and this can be made by a state government itself. This they should enhance and do it immediately. This is the urgent request, and if it doesn't happen, our protest will continue, and the thing will not get over until we are getting a proper protection measures for our doctors. If we are not able to save the doctors, and how can the doctors can effectively work and save the patients? And again, this thing, the patient attender who kicked the doctor, who tried to kill and who tried to murder, he walked away like a heroic manner. So this has been romanticized in many social medias and medias. This is unacceptable. You are just supporting the criminals, and you are just romanticizing the criminal, and just you are making a criminal as a hero. So this is a wrong thing. So this should not happen to anyone anywhere, and this should not happen anywhere again. So proper action should be taken like that. So one doctor, while speaking, in a meeting, he had made a speech in Chennai that doctors should be given a gun or pistol to them. So this is not in a wrong manner, just to protect ourselves. So just to make the situation that doctors are unsafe, to show that he had made a statement that give a gun and pistol to a doctor who is sitting in the OPD.
Yes. Okay. Point taken. I'm going to have to leave it at that. Yes, we've run out of time. My thanks to our guests for joining us on this discussion.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.